For more on the president's decision to pull out of the agreement and its impact, we're joined by Ambassador Abdallah Al-Mualimi. He is Saudi Arabia's ambassador to the United Nations. Mr. Ambassador, welcome. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you. A pleasure to be here.
Fox News Channel. Let's first start with the critics. You know what they say. They say this was an ill-advised decision by the president to pull out. It is needlessly provocative, that Iran has been abiding by the deal. The IAEA has repeatedly said that. And this prevents Iran from getting a nuclear weapon. Do you concur?
Well, they have been abiding by the deal because the deal itself is so flawed and so one-sided in their favor. The deal gave Iran everything that they wanted, lifting of sanctions and compensation, $150 billion that they could use for their activities in the Middle East and so forth. And it did not check Iran's development of ballistic missiles, its export of ballistic missiles. And look at the region in the past 2 or 3 years. Syria is much more in flames than ever before. They're fueling the activities of the Houthis in Yemen. So why wouldn't they stick to the deal? Why wouldn't they abide by the deal? It's a good deal for them.
So you think it was one-sided?
I think it was basically flawed. It was deeply flawed. It was flawed in the sense in more than one way. The first is that it gave Iran a legitimate path towards nuclearization, albeit a few years later. And 5 or 10 years in Persian history is nothing, is 5 seconds. And secondly, because it did not address the other issues that are of concern to the world and to the region: financing terrorism, sponsoring terrorism, activating rebel movements, arming Hezbollah, supporting Bashar al-Assad, and so forth. So a lot of issues that were very important to the region and to the world were simply not addressed.
The Crown Prince has called this agreement, he's likened it to the 1938 Munich Agreement with the Nazis. How fearful are you, or how concerned are you about Iranian intentions?
We're very concerned about Iranian intentions because they have made them clear. They do not hide them. They do not mince words about them. Their objective is to spread the Islamic revolution. Their objective is to convert many of the Muslim communities in the world into the Shia sect. They have fueled the old tensions between Shias and Sunnis. We've been living with each other for hundreds of years until the Iranian Revolution came and made it the business of the Iranian government to do so, to export revolution, to export their ideology. So we have always been concerned with that, and we hope that once the world takes a stand, once the world draws a red line on these issues, that Iran will finally listen.
Well, you saw Javad Zarif, the foreign minister. He's in China, and he'll be going to Europe next week, trying to lobby for the deal. What would you tell your European allies, like Germany, for example, and those nations that deal with billions of dollars worth of trade with Tehran? What would you tell them?
I would tell them that Mr. Zarif has a nice smile and pleasant words, but he still represents the same regime that has bombed Berlin, that has bombed Buenos Aires, that has bombed Khobar Towers in Saudi Arabia, that fuels the war in Syria and in Lebanon, that instigates instability in Yemen and in Iraq and other places. So this is a moment of truth for our European friends. They either take the side of saying, let's correct this once and for all, or they take the side of appeasement, and in which case we will have more years of the same Iranian behavior.
Do you really see them trying to give up all the riches that the European companies get by dealing with Tehran and being able to trade under this deal, which may now, as we heard from John Bolton, could be potentially endangered if the U.S. imposes more stricter sanctions?
Well, Saudi Arabia is the largest economy in the Middle East. If you're talking benefits and deals and so forth, there is no other place to look at other than Saudi Arabia and the rest of the GCC. And of course, the United States, which is the greatest business partner for many of the European companies. So if it's a matter of choice of where the interests are, the choice is clear, which is with the side of aborting and abandoning the deal.
And do you think, or do you hope, that an economic strangulation of Tehran could potentially lead to the fall of that regime?
Well, the fall of that regime or not is the business of the Iranian people. But sending a message, a strong message, through economic sanctions and through other political and moral sanctions, I think is what needs to be done to communicate to the Iranian people that this regime is leading them in the wrong direction. And then it's up to them to decide what to do about it.
And finally, on another issue, we're on the eve of the historic move of the United States Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. That will occur tomorrow. The kingdom has not supported that. What is your view? And what do you hope for East Jerusalem and for potential peace with the Palestinians?
Well, this move is unfortunate because it is provocative. It is not sensitive to the feelings and aspirations of the Palestinian people. And it was unnecessary and untimely at this stage. Jerusalem is a final status issue. It should be negotiated between the two sides, and the conclusions reached would then be adopted and accepted by the entire world. To make this move at this point of time simply puts the United States administration firmly on one side and inhibits the efforts that are being made towards reaching a peaceful solution. Jerusalem should be the capital state for the capital city for two states, and it should be a part of final status negotiations.
And finally, but when it comes to Iran and dealing with Tehran and the theocratic regime, you are on the same page with Washington.
Well, we definitely are, because Washington is on the page of the right side of history.
Or Washington's on the page of Riyadh, too.
And on the page with Riyadh, yes.
Ambassador Abdallah Al-Moallemi of Saudi Arabia, the kingdom, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.